What's up, guys? Welcome back to Amazing RC. Well, here it is, WPL C24. Now, this is going to be my final word on this, guys. I've had this truck now for about 2 months, and we've obviously upgraded it a little bit, minus the paint. I wanted it to kind of look like what it looked like when we got it. I threw a little bit of vinyl on it, but I wanted the outside to kind of be a little sneaky, because underneath this, if you've been following along, there's some technology in here that'll push the 6-wheel drive truck with authority. So today we're going to talk about value for dollar. Basically, my endorsement on this truck, whether or not I believe you should buy one right now. When we first got this vehicle, we got the RTR version, and we're going to start with how I felt about that specific truck. Now, we took it right out as soon as we got it and put the exact battery that came with it, which was a 6-volt nickel metal hydride battery. It had a wall charger, which took several hours to actually charge the battery. We took the truck out stock. We got a bunch of footage. It ran well for what we got. Keep in mind, this truck is sub $40 in the RTR version. And that came with a transmitter, not this one, but one that did not have proportional steering. And although it didn't really slow the truck down any, it definitely took out quite a bit of its accuracy. So once we ran this RTR, I would have to say I was impressed at the time. Then I learned what you got with the kit version as opposed to the RTR. Now, we had since put proportional steering in this. We actually robbed it out of our 6-wheel drive truck over here. And it really made this truck quite a bit more accurate. It allowed me to figure my line quite a bit better than it did when we were just throwing the truck in a direction and turning at will. So that upgrade alone was amazing. You got to have that. Well, when you buy the kit version of this exact truck, you get proportional steering. You actually get the exact steering that I put in this truck. Aside from the steering servo, you also get better tires. Now, I don't have a set of those tires, but I've been told by several of my subscribers that the kit version comes with a very soft set of tires. So there's that as well. The other thing you get with the kit version is the ability to build it yourself. This truck is extremely finicky when it comes to its parts. The parts are extremely inexpensive. Nothing has broke. However, extremely inexpensive. So things may meet up a little funny. When you build it yourself, you don't have to adjust anything when you get the RTR version. You can customize things along the way that I had to take parts off of the truck to get to because it was already put together. I could have customized those parts along the way. Also, if you're ever going to upgrade the truck, you can do that along the way as well, instead of having a truck built and then taking the entire thing apart. This truck does not like you to do that. It would rather be built one time and call it a day. So this truck in RTR version, I don't recommend. If you're going to get this vehicle, I would get the kit version. It's much better and it's actually less expensive. Now, with that kit version, make sure you pay attention to everything that you do get. There may be some things missing from it, like a battery. Now, let's talk about the upgrades that we put in this vehicle. As I stated before, we did take the steering servo out of the 6-wheel drive over there and we stuck it right on in here. Now, that did not just drop right in. One of the things I did find out along the way with this vehicle is that everything had to be customized. Any upgrade I put on this, aside from wheels and tires, you had to do some type of customization, whether it was taking something out, adding something to it. Everything was spur of the moment and completely my own idea, as it would be if you were to get this vehicle. So to put the giant motor and transmission, sure it did. It went right on in there. I had to chop a bit away from the bed of the truck. It bolted right to the frame, no problem, but there was quite a bit that I had to do to get it in. Steering servo, exactly the same thing. Now, as far as the upgrades go, the steering servo, and then as I just mentioned, the giant motor and transmission. Once I got the motor and transmission installed, it's an absolute beast and worth every penny. That's the one part that went in this vehicle that I will probably purchase more of to put in other vehicles this size. It's insane. Now, I don't know what you get as far as options, because the 3 gears that go inside this are extremely snug, and I would imagine you change 1 gear, you're going to be changing something else to give it room. So I don't think there's very many gear ratio options when it comes to this motor and transmission. It's extremely sluggish, but it has torque for this truck and probably towing 4 more behind it. The wheels spin, period. Whether it gets stuck or not is a different story. Now that brings us to our drive shafts, and I'll tell you, I had a subscriber tell me that these drive shafts have had numerous problems with them, and aside from losing 1 grub screw that I eventually refound, they never gave me a single problem. They don't really hop at all, they look great, they operate perfectly. However, there are 8 microscopic grub screws that go inside this set of drive shafts, and if you lose one of them or strip one out or anything of that sort, they're garbage. You are not going to do anything. You can super glue it to the drive shaft and hope that works, because I did lose one for about 3 days. And I did everything I could. I actually stripped the opposing one out, trying to tighten it down a bunch. It held for all of an hour. And then I tried to super glue it with that grub screw on there. That didn't work. Then I found the grub screw. And as soon as I installed it, I've had not one single problem since. So I would half recommend these, because there are other options as far as drive shafts. Also on Banggood.com that I think may be better. These are legit CV joint drive shafts. So that brings us to the truck as it sits right now in its $70, $75 state. If I were to try to recommend this specific vehicle, I would say I do recommend it as for somebody that wants to have one of the biggest challenges that they've had in their RC career. I mean, this really challenged me, and I succeeded 1,000%, except for where I've got the ESC, which also came out of the 6-wheel drive. I ended up having to put a hole in the hood of the truck to be able to get this to turn on and off. So if you want a wild challenge, this is a really awesome truck. It is extremely capable in its tiny little spot, as you can see in the film, in this form. It does none of this in its RTR form. Also, if you're going to go this route, get the kit. I can't stress that enough. The kit alone, without all these upgrades, is a great truck. You don't have to spend the extra $45 in upgrades to make it do everything that this truck does. This in kit form alone will do about 3/4 of what this truck is doing. You may not have the wild low gear torque, but the proportional steering and extra sticky tires are going to make up for that quite a bit. So guys, this is our experience with the WPL C24. I kind of recommend it, and I kind of don't, and that's what the truth sounds like. So, until the very next video, guys, it's Brian, and this is Amazing RC.